Hello everyone and welcome back to Jacqs. Thanks for joining me today for another video about the Create a Door cut file and pattern bundle. This was going to be a private video for those that purchase the cut files, and I decided to go ahead and publish this for everyone. So in case you wanted to learn more about what was actually included in the bundle, this video series will be the answer for you. This will be the first of 4 videos, and in this video we're going to learn about the base design shapes and their functions, 4 types of accordion hinges that are included in the bundle, and how to create a tent card with and without an accordion hinge. Now, if you have seen my previous videos about the tent card with waterfall or the hybrid tent card album, these videos that I'm sharing with you now are going into more detail and will provide some helpful tips along the way. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are all of the pieces and how they work together. And for this one, we have the base of the door plus the header. You can tell that by this kind of wavy outline at the top. And when I initially created this project, I thought about creating this to be a tent card. So for this piece, you will also have a piece for the back of the card. And again, you'll be able to see the header at the top here, and there will be a line in the file. So once you upload this to your cutting machine software, you would ungroup the image, change the line to be a score line, and then attach these two together so that when you cut, it will also score that line. So these two pieces go together. Now, you may think that you would fold over on this score line, but that is not what we're going to do. We're going to fold down on the score line and burnish. Then we're going to add adhesive to the back of this and attach it to the back of our front base piece. So these two pieces would get glued together like that. Now, I'm not going to glue these two pieces together yet because I want to show you some more options for how to use the files. So let's take this option and set it aside. The next option that we have is this one that can create a card. It just looks a little different. But for this piece, in the cut file image, you'll also see that there is a line going down the left-hand side. Again, once you upload this to your cutting machine software, you'll need to ungroup, change that line to be a score line, attach those two images together, and then you can cut and score this item. We will fold and burnish. So for this piece, once you have it burnished, you can add adhesive to the back side of this 1/2-inch flap. You can glue it down onto the back of the front of the door. Glue it on the right-hand side. Now I'm going to flip this over just to give you more of a feel for what I'm talking about, but there are some decorative pieces already attached to that. So I just wanted to say that ahead of time. I did some filming and then I needed to refilm. So these are some decorative pieces I'll go over in a moment. But if you adhere the panel to the right-hand side, you can use this as a card as well. These would be attached and it would open like a card. It's just another way of doing a card. It wouldn't be a top opening card, okay? It would be a side opening card. Now, I could not include the header in the back piece because these two edges would rub together. So that's why it doesn't include the header, okay? So you can use this together as a card. You can take this and put it in your journal. If you want to downsize it and make it smaller, you could add photos and journaling on the inside. So this is a great piece. Even though it doesn't look like much, it has a lot of options to it. So this option I'm going to set aside. Now I'm going to continue on with this particular front door, and as you see here, I did add some side panels which are decorative strips. and this is our header up here at the top. Each one of these images have lines in them. So something fun that I did this time was, instead of creating score lines for these, I used my deboss tip tool for my Cricut, and I debossed them. So again, once you add these images to your cutting machine software, you would ungroup each of them. You would change these lines to be either a score line or a deboss line. I debossed mine, and I just love the way that that looks. Again, you would attach these pieces together before cutting and debossing or scoring. So don't feel bad if you don't have a deboss tip. Scoring tool will do the same thing and get the same effect. Now, if you don't want that effect, you could certainly hide these lines or delete them altogether. I would just hide them in case later on you change your mind and then they're still there in your files. So that's what these 3 pieces are for. They're decorative pieces for the sides and tops of your door. This is the header. These are the side decorative panels. Now we're going to talk about the front of the door and the door panels. I made several different options for these because once I got started, I thought of so many different ways that I might want to create a door. I didn't want to give you just one way to create a door all the time. To me, that's boring. So what I did was created 2 rectangle pieces. Now these can be color block pieces. They could be whatever you want them to be, but these fit right here. So if you are creating a flat door front, you would just take these pieces, cut them out on your cardstock or pattern paper, glue the backside, and make sure you glue them all the way over against your decorative panel. So I would highly recommend you putting down your decorative panel and your header first on the front of your door. Then glue these pieces down if you want to use them. These are an option. Next, you'll see here in the middle there is some openings, and I created 2 trim pieces that can go down the front. These would just be cut and glued on the back side and placed here in the center. So you get a nice decorative image. The next thing you'll have is a door panel cutout that looks like this. These can be glued on the back side on top of the full color block here, and they go in between the decorative side panel and the middle panel that's supposed to be decorative, let's say. And it fits right on top of the rectangle piece. So it can look like that. Now, of course, when you cut this piece out, the blocks in the middle are going to be cut out as well. Now you can use it just like this, or you can take that piece and glue this on the back side right in the center. When you place these down in the center, you get a really nice border around each of those images, and it just looks so nice. This is a little harder since it isn't all glued down, so I do apologize, but I wanted to show you different options, and having things not glued down is helpful, so I don't have to keep making the same item over and over again. So there's how that would look. You'll also have a piece that looks like this. So for this, I'm going to put it at the top of where our door panels are. This makes a nice frame around the door. The bundle also includes these 2 pieces, and these are for the header. Now, just to add a little bit more color, I'm lucky enough to have double-sided cardstock, and I'm going to add this piece, which is smaller than the other one. It goes on the very end. So if you look at your header, you see all the lines. So this very last one here is where this piece can go. And the very top line here is where the second piece can go. Again, these are just decorative pieces and are optional. So I would put this here across the top and this one down at the bottom of my header. Now you'll notice that there is a gap between the top of the door panels and where we added that last decorative element to the header. If you don't like that, you can take this piece and just slip it down into that area. It fits in there perfectly. So then you have this nice, gorgeous looking door front. Now I did want to show you that if you did not want to use the rectangle pieces, you could certainly use the base of your card and then just add your door panels. And again, you don't even have to put these in there if you don't want to. You could leave it open like that. That's an option. For the doorknobs, I did create these little bitty circles and they have a line in the center of them as well. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. But I used my deboss tip again. Once I uploaded it to my software, I ungrouped and changed the inner line to be deboss, but you could also use your scoring tool, and these little knobs could be added to your door. They're so tiny. Another item that I created to go along with this are door knockers. And that's because my original idea was to use this for Halloween. So this can be placed here on the sides. Now, the way that I thought about using these knockers was certainly the way that they are, or you could take your own element, such as this butterfly, and attach it to the top and leave the bottom part hanging. You know how they have the like lion's heads at the top of the knockers? You could do that. I kind of left this so you could do whatever you wanted with it instead of giving you one that you just use all the time. So this could go here. And I just think that's a cute option. Like, it's so adorable. I hope you all think so as well. But that's another great way to use what we call them the little knockers here. They also look like earrings to me. Too funny. But that's those pieces. In addition, the bundle comes with this door panel that has 3 cutouts. It looks similar to the one that we've been working with, the door inset panel, but it's actually different. This cutout is smaller, where this one allowed for a cutout around the centerpiece. This one is actually just the centerpiece cut out. What's nice about something like this is that you could add this to your door front, and for your cutouts, you can turn them over if they're a different color and add them into the black. You could also just use it like that. Another way to use this particular panel is to take it and layer it with the door inset panel. So you could put those on top of each other like this. It just provides another layered look for your door front. You can leave the centers white, or again, you could take your pattern paper and add that to the center blocks. Ooh, that's lovely. So that's several different ways to use these door panels. There are so many combinations that you can make. Just think outside the box. But let's continue adding our pieces to the door front. So this is my door inset panel. And when you cut these out, you'll need 2 of them. You're going to want it to be flush against your side decorative panel. Now we can add our strips in the center. When I add these, I typically like to start at the bottom and just push it up against the door panel. And then we add our blocks here in the center. Now, as I mentioned, when you cut this out, you do get this additional piece here. I just don't know where mine is, or I would be using that to help put these down. So you might want to hang on to yours if you make this door front. So there is our door front all put together. The only thing to add would be the doorknob. But I'm going to actually add some decorations to this, and I think it's going to get covered anyway, so I'm not going to put those on there. You would normally cut out 2 of those. So for this, I actually have the digital collection for Snow Much Fun by Echo Park, and I printed and cut out several of the images that I wanted to just use here on the card front. I'm going to go ahead and decorate this just so that you can see. So there is our card decorated. Now you can open this up this way, add your sentiment and sign it here. You can even add photos to the top. You can even do that on the back side, add some more pattern paper, make your signature here instead of the inside. But the tent card is meant to be opened up kind of like this, maybe 2 inches, and it can sit flat on any surface. Now it can sit on its own, or we can add an accordion piece in between the 2 panels of the card to make sure that it stays up. I'll be showing you that feature coming up. The Create a Door bundle comes with 4 different types of accordion hinges. Here you see the first 3 that we're going to talk about. There's a 1 inch, a 1.5 inch, and a 1.5 inch extended hinge. I'm going to be demonstrating the 1.5 extended hinge in a video that will be playing on YouTube. So you'll be able to see how to use those hinges in that video. The 4th type of hinge that we have is a 1.5 slotted hinge. The slotted hinge also comes with a page, which I'm calling slotted page, which gets inserted into the slot that is cut out of the hinge. Now, to demonstrate how to use this particular hinge, I will be creating a separate YouTube video for this. Now I'll be demonstrating how to use the 1.5 inch accordion hinge. This file has 3 lines on it. So once you upload it to your cutting software machine, ungroup, change these lines to be score lines, and attach everything before cutting them out. As you can see, there are 2 1/2-inch areas on each side of the accordion piece. We want to fold up on those, creating a hinge. In the center is our other score line, and we're going to fold back and burnish that. So then your piece looks like this. We're going to add adhesive to the outside of one of these hinges and then attach it to either piece of our card, just right at the end there. Just line everything up. Make sure that it doesn't go over, and then give that a burnish. Now we'll add adhesive to the other hinge and attach the back piece. Now this is optional. It'll stand without the accordion piece, but if you want to make sure that it's nice and sturdy, if you're going to leave it up for a while, I would definitely recommend doing the accordion piece. So that's what it looks like in the end. And again, it'll fold and go right into an envelope.